These animals were declared extinct, but they're not. Here's why. Animals can sometimes be so sneaky or live in places that are so inconvenient for scientists to check that we declare them extinct when actually they're still out there hiding. Turns out we humans don't always have the last word. Sometimes nature has a way of proving us wrong, and occasionally she sends us some truly epic surprises. Today we're going to talk about those special animals that beat the odds and refuse to stay dead. They may have been missing for years or even centuries, but ultimately nature found a way to bring them back from the brink. So join me as we uncover the secrets behind the Lazarus species phenomenon and explore what their resurrections can teach us about the power of resilience, the fallibility of science, and the importance of conservation in an ever-changing world. Okay, let's start with our first Lazarus species, the Coelacanth. This prehistoric fish is a true marvel of evolution and has been around for over 300 million years. It was thought to have gone extinct 66 million years ago after living through the mass extinction that wiped out the dinosaurs, but then suddenly reappeared off the coast of South Africa in 1938. Scientists were stunned by this discovery because the coelacanth had been missing for so long that it was already part of the fossil record. This amazing find showed that sometimes evolution can surprise us all, and that even creatures we think are long gone can turn up alive and well. Now let's meet the Lord Howe Island stick insect. This large brown bug is native to Australia and was believed to have gone extinct in the 1920s after being introduced to the island of Lord Howe. However, in 2001, a team of scientists rediscovered a small population of these insects on a remote rocky outcrop on the island. Thanks to ongoing conservation efforts, the Lord Howe Island stick insect is now thriving once again. This remarkable comeback story is a shining example of how dedicated conservation efforts can help save endangered species from the brink of extinction. It's also a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected places can be home to some of the rarest creatures on Earth. Next, let's take a trip to the Canary Islands, where you might spot the La Palma giant lizard. This reptile is a subspecies of the common Tenerife giant lizard, but it was previously thought to have gone extinct about 500 years ago. However, in 2007, it was rediscovered on the island of La Palma, much to the surprise of scientists who had been searching for it for decades. The La Palma giant lizard is a fascinating creature that has managed to survive despite the many threats it has faced throughout history. Its ability to adapt and thrive in such a harsh environment is a testament to the resilience of nature. And its recent rediscovery is a cause for celebration for conservationists and wildlife enthusiasts alike. And from lizards, let's turn to a more unusual Lazarus species, the Cuban solenodon. This small, shrew-like mammal is found only in Cuba and was once believed to be extinct. However, in the early 2000s, several specimens were captured in the mountainous regions of the island, proving that it still exists. One of the most interesting things about the Cuban solenodon is that it's one of the few venomous mammals still alive today. It has a venomous bite that it uses to subdue its prey, which consists mostly of insects and other small creatures. Despite its small size, the Cuban solenodon is a fierce predator, and its venom can be deadly to its victims. Another incredible Lazarus species is the takahe. This flightless bird is found only in New Zealand and was declared extinct in 1898 after being hunted almost to oblivion by introduced predators such as cats and dogs. However, in 1948, a small population was discovered in the remote Murchison Mountains. Since then, the takahe has become a conservation success story thanks to intensive protection measures, captive breeding programs, and habitat restoration. Today, the takahe is thriving once again, and its brilliant blue plumage and haunting call can be heard echoing through the New Zealand Alps. Let's cross the ocean to the tiny island of New Caledonia and meet the terror skink. This small lizard is a member of the skink family and was thought to have gone extinct in the late 19th century. However, in 2003, it was rediscovered in the forests of the island of Espanola. The terror skink is a fierce little creature with sharp teeth and claws that it uses to hunt down its prey. Despite its small size, it's a formidable predator, and its bite can be surprisingly painful. So why do some species disappear only to reappear years or even centuries later? Well, there are a few different reasons. Sometimes it's because the animal lives in a dense habitat like a rainforest where it's hard for scientists to spot them. Other times it's because they live on a remote island, like the Lord Howe Island stick insect. Or sometimes they're just really good at hiding. Like the terror skink, many of these species had been declared extinct because they hadn't been seen by scientists for a long time. But in reality, they were still out there clinging to survival in some of the most unexpected places. It's important to remember that sometimes we humans make mistakes. We might misidentify a species or accidentally destroy its habitat without realizing it. Take, for example, the great auk, a flightless bird that was hunted to extinction in the 1800s. For a while, it was thought that the great auk had been killed off by human activity, but recent research suggests that it may have gone extinct naturally due to a combination of factors including climate change and volcanic eruptions. There are also instances where species thought to be extinct reappear, but it turns out they're actually something else entirely. Take, for example, the Mongolian deathworm. This strange-looking creature was described by Russian explorers in the 1920s and was believed to be a new species. However, in 2003, scientists discovered that it was actually a type of beetle larva that had been misidentified. Despite these rare occurrences, in most cases, when a species disappears from the face of the earth, it doesn't come back. When a species goes extinct, it's gone forever. There are no Lazarus species walking among us. But now let's talk about a phenomenon that's similar to the Lazarus species, but not quite the same thing. Bring back the dodo bird. No, seriously, bring back the woolly mammoth. With advances in genetic engineering, scientists are now able to resurrect extinct animals and bring them back to life. This process, known as de-extinction, involves using genetic material from a preserved specimen, typically found in a museum, and combining it with the DNA of a closely related living species. The result is a hybrid animal that has the physical characteristics of the extinct species and the genetic makeup of its living relative. However, it's important to distinguish between de-extinction and the rediscovery of a living species. De-extinction is a deliberate scientific process that aims to recreate an extinct animal, whereas the rediscovery of a living species is simply the act of finding a population of animals that was previously thought to be extinct. Although both phenomena involve bringing back creatures that were once lost, they are fundamentally different. De-extinction is a cutting-edge field that raises ethical and ecological questions about the potential impact of introducing new species into existing ecosystems. On the other hand, the rediscovery of a living species is a cause for celebration and a testament to the resilience and adaptability of life on Earth. Ultimately, the rediscovery of these species gives us hope that even when things seem bleak, life always finds a way to bounce back. Their stories remind us that we're only beginning to understand the natural world around us, and that there's always more to discover. From the smallest insect to the largest whale, every creature has a role to play in our planet's delicate web of life. And by protecting and conserving the habitats of these amazing animals, we can ensure that their survival for generations to come. I know these are tough times to be alive, and it's easy to feel like things are going downhill. But stories like these give me hope for the future. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Don't forget to stay tuned for more. See you next time.